we're required to find the number base x for which this equation is true. 122 base x equals 302 base 4. So the strategy is to convert both sides of the equation to base 10. So, and solve the resulting equation. So let's get straight off into the solution. Let's go. That's a short way of saying solution. So let's take the numbers 1, 2, and 2 written to base x equals 302 written to base 4. Now the process involves expansion. So let's write powers on top of these figures. So we have 0 from the far right hand side, 0, 1, and 2. And on the right hand side, we do the same thing, 0, 1, and 2. And we begin the expansion process. So let's go. The first digit here is 1. It has to be multiplied by the base, and the base there is x, written to the power of the number on top of the 1, which is 2. Plus the next digit, which is 2 right there. Again, multiplied by the base involved, base x, written to the power of the number written on the 2, which is 1. And to the last digit, we have 2 right there, multiplied by the number base x, and then written to the power 0, the number written on top of 2 right there. Now we'll repeat this process for the right hand side. So the first digit is 3, multiplied by the base. Now we know the base on the right, it is base 4, written to the power 2, which is the number written on top of 3. That's right. And now we can, of course, bypass the 0 digits, because 0 multiplied by any number will give us 0. So this adds no value to the result, and we can bypass the computation involving the 0. We move to the next digit, plus, and that is 2, multiplied by the base, which is 4, raised to the power of the number written on top of it, which is 0. And now we have to evaluate each of these units, starting from the power area. And therefore, we go x squared multiplied by 1 gives us x squared, plus x to the power 1 leaves x. X multiplied by 2 gives us 2x. In the third area, x to the power 0, any number to the power 0 gives 1 from the law of indices. 1 resulting multiplied by 2 gives us plus 2. And for the right hand side, we do the same operation. From the power area, 4 squared, 4 to the power 2, that's 16. 16 multiplied by 3, 48. And now we have plus 4 to the power 0, which is 1, as explained. 1 multiplied by 2, and that is 2. Of course, any number to the power 0 gives us 1. All right. Now, let us tidy up this expression by taking together the value on the right hand side. Let's take this together. Yes. And we have, therefore, x squared plus 2x plus 2 equals 48 plus 2 there, and that is 50. Now we make it a full quadratic equation by subtracting 50 from both sides, a way of saying we want to relocate 50 to the left-hand side, changing its sign. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 2, and of course minus 50, subtracting 50 from both sides, leaves 0, since there is no other digit on the right-hand side. And now we evaluate this by saying this is x squared plus 2x minus 48 equals 0. Beautiful. And now we have to factor this quadratic equation. I like to create the area there for the factor search. We solve this by factorization. Let's multiply the first coefficient by the last here. 1 multiplied by minus 48 gives us minus 48. And this is actually negative, as we have seen. Because it is negative, there will be two factors which have different signs. One is going to be positive, and the other negative. Further, the sign in the middle must be carried by the bigger factor, which is positive. So the positive sign here goes to the bigger factor. The bigger factor takes the positive sign. Which two numbers will interact to give 2 in the middle, but multiply to give 48? Of course, 6 and 8. And we can see clearly the bigger of these two numbers is 8. And it must take the sign in the middle. So positive sign in the middle goes to the bigger one, which is 8. Negative sign goes to the smaller one, which is 6. And now we can charge 2 of them with the variable in the middle, x. So the factors we require are minus 6x and positive 8x. Let us replace the middle term with these factors. So 2x out of the way, and that means we have x squared minus 6x plus 8x minus 48 equals 0. To understand solution of quadratic equations by factorization, you can search for my video on quadratic equations, and it's quite insightful. Let's go. Now we pair them up for further factorization, first and second, and of course, third and fourth. So x is common between the first and the second. We take it out, factor it from x squared, we have x, minus, when taken from 6x, we have 6 resulting. Plus 8 is common between the third and the fourth. And factor it from the first area, we have x, minus sign sustained. Factor it from 48, we have, of course, 6. Now, to verify that we're correct, the contents of these two brackets are the same. So that's good. We can move on. X minus 6 in there, x minus 6. Let's do the further factorization. Let's go. And therefore, it means x minus 6. Factoring x minus 6, we have x out here and plus 8 out there equals 0. Now, two factors multiplying themselves to give 0. Any of them can be equal to 0. I like to make a demarcation here. I like this demarcation. So let me have this so that we can have the boundaries. That's right. All right. Now, either of them can be equal to 0. So if it's b, x minus 6 equal to 0, then it implies that x equals 6, adding 6 to both sides, a way of saying we want to relocate the minus 6 to change its sign. If, on the other hand, x plus 8 equals 0, then it means x equals minus 8, subtracting 8 from both sides. And now this is the decisive moment. The base of a number cannot be negative. X is a number base. It is not allowed to be negative, and therefore the answer x equals minus 8 will be rejected at this point. And therefore, in the final analysis, x equals the surviving answer, 6. Very simple. And that is actually option A right there. Beautiful. Now, attached to this video are 2 quizzes that you can take in order to test your understanding of the content of this video. So just click on the answers in the quizzes. In addition to that, there is a link in the pinned comment that takes you to the test on number basis. 30 questions to be attempted in 30 minutes. So test your mastery of the topic, number basis, by clicking on the link in the pinned comment. Finally, there is yet another link in the pinned comment. This one takes you to the full analysis of the topic, number basis. So you can learn and understand it from beginning to the end. Thank you for being part of this session. And of course, I will see you in my next video.